Okay, so I'm just going to do this, do the argument analysis here, the passage analysis, just as I would if I were a student and role model for you how you do this. So at this point, I have copied and pasted the original response. Okay, and again, I'm going to pretend I'm a student. And I took that out of the foundational writing assignment. I didn't revise, so I'm going to have to, I didn't revise, so of course I'm just using my very original response. Remember, if you did revise, go ahead and use the revised version of your response. So I see here, I do have, I'm making sure that I've got the right response. So this is the one to prompt 2. It is about the one about sacrificing and free will. That is the one that the writing assignment asked for. So I've got the right response, not the wrong one. Otherwise, I'm not going to get credit for this because I didn't analyze the correct argument, the correct response. I think I'm going to show off to Dr. C a little bit and make it easier for her to, see that I'm really paying attention to detail and just showing that extra little something effort by, indicating things or marking things. So I'm going to go ahead and use some terminology that she has taught us to help her see that I know what's what and to format my response overall. So this is the ordinary argument right here. Okay. I remember in the video she said that for most of us, most of this is going to be merely contextual information about the sacrifice and what caused it. And I remember her saying that if we did this correctly, we should have an argument in here. If we did it the way she told us to do it in the writing assignment, and if we made use of the instructional video, especially as it related to this point of the argument. So I know that I'm going to be down here probably most of the time in doing my analysis. So the first thing that I have to do, of course, is bracket and number all of the statements. So even though this might not be ultimately what ends up in my reformatted, in my reformatting, I know that she didn't say to skip this. She didn't say, oh, it's just contextual, therefore you don't have to mark it up. So I better just mark it up anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is statement 1. A sacrifice that I am making as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic is giving up some of my own time to learn in my own classes to help my children learn online. Okay. And then it looks like I've got a second statement here. An internal cause of this sacrifice has to do with the pandemic itself. Okay, that's definitely a statement. Then it looks like I've got a third statement here. A related external cause has to do with someone else deciding that schools will close and learning will continue online. Okay. I'm noticing that every time I say online, the font has changed. Maybe she doesn't care about it this much, but I do, so I'm going to make sure all the font is the same. Okay, so now it's all the same. Just trying to show off that extra little attention to detail. Because schools were shut down, my children must now do all of their online learning. It almost seems like I have an argument here. Because typically tells me a premise is coming. Schools were shut down, therefore children must now do learning online. Well, you know what? I'm remembering what she said, that sometimes that because, like other indicators, typically tell you a premise or a conclusion is coming, but not always. And as I'm reading this, I think that because it's just functioning as an explanation indicator, I'm just explaining why my children are doing all of their learning online. So I'm not going to bracket this off as one statement because I don't think because it's saying here comes a premise, it seems to me that it's saying here comes an explanation for something that I state here. So I'm just going to call all of that then statement 3. And if that's the case, then maybe I better take out that comma, because if it's an explanation, I really don't need that. I don't necessarily have 2 separate statements. I have one statement, and it just looks like 2 because of because, and so I shouldn't have put that comma in there maybe, because is just an explanation for what I say later in the same statement. Okay. Wow, so this is actually, now that I see what she taught us, I see that she really taught us at a very baseline level, and that she was just getting us ready for the more complex, not complex, more challenging tasks. So I'm glad she did that. Didn't start off with something hard like this. Okay, statement 4 would be, it is something that is new to them. Okay, so that's definitely another statement. It is also, in a sense, new to me because while I have taken online classes, it has been as a college student. Oh, I remember she said that we could fix little typos, so obviously that shouldn't be plural for when it's referring to a singular entity, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that little thing because she said I could. And I think this because, again, it's not telling me here comes a separate statement or premise. I think it's explaining something that I said before, why something's new. It's not a why like in terms of, let me tell you, let me defend my belief. It's more like explain why something is the case. I'm going to take out that comma because I really think that this is just one statement that is explaining something. Okay, so then I've got statement 5. Now I have to use more of my own time to help my kids figure out what their teachers want. This includes trying to figure out the different apps and learning portals they use. So that's definitely a statement. This is definitely a statement. Got another statement here. This leaves me with less time to focus on my own learning, which stresses me out. Okay, I know I can't put an opening bracket there because then I'll be saying that this is a statement when in fact it's a sentence fragment. When in fact I would be creating a sentence fragment, right? So this is just kind of like an aside or an afterthought that is included with the thought expressed in the core of the statement. Okay, so then I've got while there are external causes to my sacrifice, so statement 8. There are also internal causes. One is that I believe, so I believe this is going to be another statement. One is that I believe in overcoming challenges. Okay, then I go on to talk about more about that belief in detail. My belief that overcoming challenges make you stronger pushes me to do as well as I can with respect to my learning while helping my children with their own. Another, oh, look, there's a little typo. She said we can fix little typos like this, so I know that that should be one word. All right, so then we've got another statement. There I am separating my word again. That was purely accidental. 11, another internal cause has to do with a want that I have. Okay, and then it looks like I have one more statement in this part. I want my children to succeed in life. Okay, and to do that, they must continue with their education regardless of any challenges. Okay, so it looks like we have a statement here, and then we have a statement here. To do that, they must continue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's that part. I better not forget to do this part. So that was statement 13. So here I have statement 14, and I'm going to italicize that because I remember that was something that I copied and it was italicized in the original response. I'm going to go ahead and italicize it. Closing statement. Okay. The reason I think this is true is the definition. Could I just put my opening bracket right here? Could I just put it right here for statement 15? The definition I am using for free will, the power. No, that would be a sentence fragment. I'd be creating a sentence fragment if I put the opening bracket here. So I better put it over here, meaning I can't leave out the premise indicator, but I'll deal with that later. 15. Okay, so continuing on, there's the ending bracket. Although there are external causes over which I have no control, can decide what? What happened with my writing there? Okay, I think, well, first of all, I realized that this part, although to control is a sentence fragment, and I also realized this part from can to kids is a sentence fragment, but I think now I can see what I did given the argument module lessons. What I did was I meant to create one statement with both of these sentence fragments. The problem is my punctuation and capitalization. The issue is not with my intellect, but with being attentive to writing mechanics and conventions. What I need to do is do a comma, because what this really is not a sentence fragment. When I put the comma, I realize, hey, I now realize that this is a discount. I'm raising a possible objection to something I want to say, but then the word I'm missing here is the subject of the idea, the subject of the thing that is the statement, the thing that I actually believe, which is I. Well, that was easy to fix. So here I have, although there are external causes over which I have no control, so obviously, or not control, oh, there's another tiny thing she said I could fix, or kind of thing. So right here, I guess I'm raising an objection that somebody might bring up. But yeah, there was an external cause, and I'm saying, I still think I'm free because I decide. So I think I'll put the opening bracket here. I know she says I can put it before, I can put it at the beginning here and include the discount, but I'm going to leave it out because I know it's going to be crossed out as excess verbiage. And in doing so, I did not destroy the statement at all. So that's statement 16. Also, no one is physically forcing me to turn away from my own studies and focus on theirs. So this would be statement 17. I know I'm going to get rid of a little word like also, because that's like furthermore, in addition to, and I know I don't need words like that. They're just saying, hey, they're just nice introductory clauses, which are great when writing in paragraph form, which are lovely in showing coherence. But I know that when I'm clarifying an argument, we want to get rid of stuff like that. No one is physically forcing to turn away from studies. Oh my gosh, I realized I forgot to, or maybe I put it in there and I accidentally deleted it. I need a subject. Me. No one is physically forcing, still messing up. Forcing me to turn away from, oh my gosh, what was going on in my mind here? My own studies and focus on theirs. Okay. Consequently, I know that that's a conclusion indicator, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave it out of my bracketing. Again, I'm not going to destroy the statement. The core of the statement, my sacrifice meets the definition for what it means to do something of one's own free will. I'm going to go ahead and say that that is a statement. And then you have here some phrase that tells me that they want to say, I want to say something else, which proves my ultimate point that statement 19 is right here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and check and make sure I've numbered and bracketed all in any statements before I go ahead and start labeling things and crossing them out. Oh, one more thing. Got to fix that right there. Discretion.